What if I told you that your face is an open book? That every little twitch of a muscle you don't even know you have is telling a story? A story that, up until now, was yours and yours alone. Well, that's changing. Because right now, an AI is learning to read that story. It can look right past the face you show to the world and see how you really feel. This isn't science fiction. This technology exists today, and it's getting scarily powerful. We decided to put it to the test, to push it to its limits, and see just how much it could figure out. The results were more shocking, more accurate, and frankly more terrifying than we ever imagined. This is the world of emotion AI, and it's about to change everything. Section 1. The rise of the emotion reading machines. This incredible, and let's be honest, slightly unsettling technology officially goes by the name affective computing, or the much catchier emotion AI. For decades, this was just theory stuck in research labs at places like MIT. The idea was simple. For machines to ever really interact with us like, a person, they'd need some form of emotional intelligence. And now, thanks to the explosion in machine learning, that theory is very much a reality. So, how does a machine even begin to know what you're feeling? It's basically a high-tech spy. It pulls in information from a few different sources all at once. A camera mapping your face, a microphone listening to your voice, and sometimes even biosensors tracking your heart rate. First, your face. The AI isn't just looking at you. It uses computer vision to lock onto dozens of points on your face, the corners of your mouth, the shape of your eyes, the furrow of your brow. It then tracks the tiniest, split-second movements of these points, things called micro-expressions. These are the involuntary flickers that give away your true feelings. The AI compares these movements to a massive database of millions of other faces, a huge library of human emotion that it's been trained on. But it's not just what the AI sees, it's also about what it hears. The tech analyzes your voice, not for the words, but for all the hidden clues, your pitch, tone, and the pace of your speech. Is there a little tremor of anxiety in your voice? A rising pitch of excitement? The AI hears it. Some systems even analyze the words themselves, figuring out the emotional weight of what you're saying. All this data, facial movements, vocal cues, and physical feedback, gets fed into a powerful machine learning brain. It fuses all these signals together into one surprisingly detailed emotional profile. It then sorts what it sees into basic emotions: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, disgust. But the newer systems claim they can spot much more nuanced feelings, like confusion, frustration, or even boredom. This isn't just a guess. It's a cold, calculated conclusion based on a flood of data you're constantly and unknowingly giving away. And it's all happening in real time. Section 2. Putting the AI to the test. Our freaky experiment. Knowing how it's supposed to work is one thing. Seeing it in action is something else entirely. We had to try this for ourselves. We got our hands on a commercial emotion AI platform, the exact kind of software that companies are starting to use for things like marketing research. We started with something simple: videos designed to get a strong, obvious reaction. A clip of a surprise puppy for someone's birthday. The AI's dashboard instantly lit up. The facial analysis nailed a spike in joy and surprise, and the person's gasp confirmed it. Okay, no surprise there. That was the easy part. Then we leveled up. A tense scene from a psychological thriller. In the movie, the main character is acting calm, but the audience knows they're in terrible danger. We watched our test subject's face as they viewed the scene. He was trying to keep a straight face just watching the film. But the AI saw something else. It logged a slow, steady rise in fear, broken up by sharp spikes of surprise during the jump scares. It was unnervingly accurate, picking up on fleeting expressions our own eyes completely missed. But this is where it got really freaky. We decided to test it against a lie. We had one of our team members, Alex, sit in front of the camera. His job: tell two stories, one true and one totally made up, and convince both us and the AI that both were the truth. He had to keep a perfect poker face. His true story was about a simple, happy memory from his childhood. The AI's dashboard stayed pretty calm, It logged neutral with undertones of joy, which makes sense. Everything checked out. Then came the lie. Alex launched into a detailed, totally convincing story about a dramatic encounter he supposedly had. To us, watching him, he looked completely cool. He held eye contact. His voice was steady. But the AI wasn't buying it. Not for a second. The moment he started the fake story, his stress metric began to creep up. The AI flagged a high cognitive load, which is just a fancy way of saying his brain was working overtime. Then it started spotting tiny, contradictory micro-expressions. A flash of a frown instantly suppressed, a slight tightening of his lips. While his main expression was neutral, the AI highlighted an undercurrent of fear and anger, classic signs of stress when you're lying. It was like the AI could see the battle happening behind his eyes. It didn't just guess he was lying. It showed us the emotional data of the lie as it happened. We were speechless. It felt less like software and more like a mind reader. Section 3. The terrifying implications of a post-privacy world. The whole experience was mind-blowing, but also deeply unsettling. It makes you ask a pretty scary question. What happens when this tech is everywhere? What does privacy even mean when our feelings can be tracked, analyzed, and stored? Think about marketing. Brands are already using this to get real-time reactions to ads. Imagine walking through a store where cameras scan your face to see how you feel about products on a shelf. The store's AI could see a flicker of desire and instantly ping a personalized discount for that exact item to your phone. A streaming service could know you're bored with a movie before you do and seamlessly suggest something else. It's a new level of personalization, but it's also a kind of emotional manipulation. Your feelings become just another data point to be sold. Now, take it to the workplace. Some companies are already experimenting with this to monitor employees on video calls. The European Union is so concerned about this that its AI Act heavily restricts and, in most cases, prohibits emotion recognition in workplaces and schools, a rule that took effect in early 2025. But in many other parts of the world, there are no such rules. What if your boss got a report on your emotional state after a meeting? What if you were passed over for a promotion because an AI decided you weren't enthusiastic enough? It turns the workplace into a place of constant emotional surveillance, where you're judged not just on your work, but on whether you feel the right way about it. The security implications are even more jarring. Emotion AI is being pitched for public surveillance to spot suspicious behavior. An AI could flag you in an airport, not for something you did, but because its algorithm decided your emotional state was abnormal. The technology is also being tested for things like insurance claims, analyzing your voice for stress to detect potential fraud. And this brings us to the biggest problem of all, bias. These AIs are trained on huge datasets, but if those datasets aren't diverse, the AI can be wildly inaccurate for different ages, cultures, and ethnicities. A gesture that's respectful in one culture might be read as defiant in another. One Dutch data protection agency even called the whole practice dubious and risky, pointing out that it's all based on the shaky idea that you can even measure feelings with biometrics. We're building systems that can make huge judgments about us based on data that could be deeply flawed. We're looking at a world where your face could betray you in a job interview, where a billboard could change its ad based on your mood, and where your own phone could be reporting on your feelings without you even realizing it. We are standing on the edge of a world where our emotions are no longer our own. So I have to ask, which of these possibilities is the most terrifying to you? The marketer who wants to sell you a product, or the government that wants to watch how you feel? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Conclusion. Look, the rise of emotion AI is a massive leap forward. The potential for good is obviously there. In healthcare, it could completely change mental health care, giving early warnings for depression or anxiety. For people with autism, it could act as a kind of social translator, helping them better understand the emotions of others. These are powerful, life-changing ideas. But for every amazing possibility, there's a flip side that's genuinely scary. We just showed you how accurate this tech can be. And with that power comes a huge risk to our privacy and our freedom. We are speeding toward a future where companies and governments have the tools to not only know what we do, but to know how we feel about it. A world without emotional privacy. The technology is growing way faster than the laws needed to control it, leaving us in a dangerous gray zone. We're being asked to trust a system that's often a black box, with biases we don't fully understand and a hunger for data that never stops. This technology could change the world for better or for worse, and it leaves us with one final question. Are we ready for a world where our deepest feelings are no longer private? See you in the next video. Hope you found this video interesting. Bye for now.